We are coming close to a year of us being in this pandemic. March 15th is really when everything shut down. I remember the church staff contemplating what we should do and what would be best for Sunday worship. First, we decided it'll be fine and we'll just do what we normally do and we'll figure it out next week. And then the stress got a little higher. So then we said we'll do one in-person worship service. And then over the weekend, the stress got even higher. And finally, we said on Saturday, it is not worth the risk. And March 15th was our very first Facebook Live service. Do you all remember that? Everything felt so bizarre. We had no idea what we were doing, where the best place to sit or stand was. We didn't know how to make the sound better so you could all hear us. Everything just felt so different in that moment. As the months have gone on, it doesn't feel as different anymore. Online services have become this normal part of our week. So many of us are back in this groove of our life, even though it's not what we expected. We are all pretty used to how things are going now. So then why do we feel so alone? Because it's been a year. It's been a year of not hugging our friends or shaking hands at passing of the peace. A year of not sitting in your spot in the sanctuary. A year of constant question. Do I do this? Do I put myself at risk? A year of asking, is it really worth it? A year of missed holidays with family. A year of constant fatigue. A year where we just want to feel like we're home, but home right now feels different. It's been a year. A whole year. Just because we are used to how things are now doesn't mean our sense of loneliness is just gonna go away. Just because we have been walking through this since March 15th doesn't mean our feeling of isolation has magically disappeared. Some of us still feel that loneliness in the pit of our stomachs, and we just can't shake it. We don't know why. Some ways to talk about this is maybe calling a good friend who is willing to listen, seeing a therapist in person or over Zoom, talking to your pastor about what is going on. This is not totally going to alleviate your feeling of loneliness, but is the first step towards not feeling so alone. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 19 through 22 says, "That's plain enough, isn't it? You're no longer wandering exiles. This kingdom of faith is now your home country. You're no longer strangers or outsiders. You belong here, with as much right to the name Christian as anyone. God is building a home. God's using us all, irrespective of how we got here, in what God is building. He used the apostles and the prophets for the foundation. Now God's using you, fitting you in brick by brick, stone by stone, with Christ Jesus as the cornerstone that holds all of the parts together. It's been a year, and it's okay to still feel lonely. Just know that you are not alone in that journey. Our loneliness will come and go long after the pandemic is over, too. We just have to remember God made us all to fit together, brick by brick, and so that we can support one another through this journey of life. Reverend M. Barclay writes a poem about how we can feel alone and we can feel sad. We can get fatigued, but God will always be that loud voice saying that God is there in those times, and we are too. Gentle presence, patient listener, holy holder of it all. My prayer is this: I am so sad. It's not an ask, it's not a confession, it's an offering, the only one I have today. I'm praying it with hope. I know grief is a lifeline, tethering me to the world that should be, for one worth fighting for. As a practice of faith, I will not deaden these feelings that let me know all is not well. I will not adjust to cruelty or disregard for life, detaching myself from humanity, mine or others. I will not allow once imaginable scenarios to be turned into everyday losses that no longer pierce my soul. And so, here are my tears. And here is my tired body. And here is my foggy, distracted mind, bearing witness to the place within that aches for the ones I love, for friends and strangers, for everyone being pushed into impossible situations. My sadness is a testimony, is not my only one. Tomorrow, hope or fight or curiosity will bear their truth and pull me back into the labors I love in the company of others. But today, the only riot in me is this sorrow, refusing to quiet your cry from within. We are made for much better than this. The church emergency number is 406-333-1856, or feel free to call or email Pastor Amy or myself. Your mental health matters, and you are not alone.